moron!
Hey, moron!
Dude! Look at me! I'm the water boy, dude!
Wow. Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, guys. You know, I get a lot of crap. I really do. People are always going through and telling me, you're just a Dak Prescott lover. You don't care about the Cowboys. You know, Dak, we just need to move on from him. He sucks, man. He can't do anything right. The team always carries him. And then he just fails. You know, and as much as I love Wade, Wade has been an incredible friend. And, you know, like Wade has given me an incredible jersey. He's given me like the poncho here and things like that. You know, I've got great people out there. He wants Dak to win one, but he is just like, he is one of those guys that some days it's like it's not Dak's fault. Other days it's just like he's just angry. And I think Cowboy fans in general are angry with where we are as an organization. But see, I'm going to go ahead and fall on the sword with Dak Prescott and say he is not the only problem we have, because there's perception and there's reality. And today is the first day that the Dallas Cowboys start getting together voluntarily as a team. This is when team workouts are able to happen. This is when players are allowed to come to the facilities and start working with the trainers. They can't work with the coaches. They can't do practices and things, but they can start doing weightlifting and, you know, running on the field, getting their bodies in shape, you know, working with the trainers, you know, healing up and things like that. This is the beginning. And for me, I am excited as can be. I know people aren't excited about the players that we have here, that the Cowboys, they just got mid-level guys and so on. Understand that. But here's what I will say. I was at my mother's house this weekend, and my parents' house has been there forever, okay? If you go to my mother's house, you will see stuff that I have built almost 50 years ago. Almost 50 years ago. Some of my early cabinets are still there, hanging up with full of stuff that my mom has, because my mom collects everything. And if you look at the cabinets that I built 40 years ago, they look a little rough. But, and actually, you can see a timeline from the first stuff that I've done to, like, you know, 20 years ago or 30 years ago when I built her kitchen over and built her kitchen cabinets, and they're still there. But you can see the evolution of the more time and practice I got, the better I am. So by the time you get to like the red brick house or the kitchen I'm working on now, you can see that I've got a lot more skill in it, more competence in it. It's easy. It doesn't take as much time. It's finished better. The joints are tighter. And it's because I've had more practice to do more work. And I've gotten better with it. So getting these guys in, signing these 10 free agents, the linebackers, the defensive ends, the offensive linemen, getting them in here, if for no other reason, to get to know everybody that's in the locker room, to know their name, to know the trainers, to know where everything is, to start lifting weights together, starting to become a team, to become cohesive, to figure out who the leaders are, will help you then when you bring them in after training camp or at the end of training camp. And that's what we were doing when I was still in LA at the first preseason game. After you've gotten the meat of the workouts done, which there aren't many practices, you got the training that starts today. You got the mini camps that start in like 2 weeks and stuff like that. Then you got the 6 weeks off. And then you get 14 padded practices that are nothing like practices we went through. We did more practice in spring football than the NFL players do in training camp. That's a fact. So when you bring in a Carl Lawson at the end of training camp, he's got to get in shape because he hasn't been on an NFL roster. He's missed all that time getting to know his people. He's got to study the books and understand the plays. People have to get used to what this guy does. And if you've never played football, and you haven't played with the same person over and over again, you get to be a point where you can understand what that guy's thinking, and we can work together. That maybe it's not called in the play, but we see the guy is shaded over a little bit, and we can kind of give each other a little nod, and we know I'm going to take him, and I'm going to go jump on the outside. And these are things that happen in becoming a team. It's critical to have everybody there for as much as possible. And for the first time, the Cowboys have gotten the meat of their team there now. Come next week, they'll get the rookies, and they'll have the rookie mini camps and things. Get those guys up to speed. And then come early May, we bring everybody together. We get to know each other. And this is going to be the big question right now. Because the Cowboys, of course, are never in a hurry to do jack. We always wait and waste freaking time. We wasted time with D-Law 1 year, and D-Law was at the point of saying, screw you. This rotator cuff, I ain't getting it worked on until I get a contract. And that literally was the end of May when he got surgery on it. The recovery was the whole summer, and even though he played in the first game, he hadn't been able to lift weights. And if you understand football, your hands and your arm strength are everything in getting through there. It wasted a season. You can go through and say CeeDee Lamb being signed and holding out definitely hurt the cohesion with the team, especially since you didn't have Brandon Cooks there. Brandon Cooks was injured through training camp. It was great for the younger guys to get a little bit of experience, but you need your number one guy there working out with your quarterback. Wasted time. Missing the OTAs, missing training camp for no good reason. It's not like it saved us money. It's not like we saved us money. Zeke Elliott, not there, training camp out in Mexico, Cabo, drinking Coronas and running on the beach. Wasted season. Now, Micah Parsons has always had this attitude that I need time on my own to heal and work out. It's not a matter of me not being in shape. I need to do me and so on. Well, that's great for you. But see, now you have to be a leader. You have to set the example. You can't make yourself look like I'm special and I'm going to do whatever I want to and think people are going to follow you. And I'm not going to blame Micah Parsons solely on this. I'm going to blame the system that ends up being, well, we can take our time. And we've gone through this over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it always ends up costing more. At this point, I mean, let's be real here. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I go through, I'm telling you right now, say, hey, Micah and his agent, listen, let's just get this thing done. Let's just cut to the chase. We will give you $41 million a year. $41 million a year for the next 5 years. Okay? That's $205 million contract. We'll say $90 million of it's guaranteed. And we'll get this thing done right now, just to get it out of the way. Hell, I might even say, sweeten it up a little bit more. At this point, what's another $1 million? Say, Micah, we're going to give you $42 million a year. That's $210 million contract. Next 5 years, we'll give you the $90 million guaranteed. And let's get this thing done. Because at this point, that sounds like it's high. But TJ Watt wants to get paid, and he's basically saying F you to the Steelers. He's going to be over 41. Hell, somebody they might try a trade, and somebody says we'll pay you 45. And if we look and say, you know what, 42, by the time we get to training camp, if he hasn't been signed, you can guarantee it's going to be over 45. And you have him holding out or holding in, which hurts your team. So if you're asking me, is an extra $1 million or $2 million to have him here becoming a leader, setting an example, it's worth it. It's worth it. You got a new defensive coordinator. You've got new players. You need Micah Parsons here every single day. Now, we don't know if he's going to show up or not. We don't know if he'll show up or not. He may surprise us and say, Cowboys, here's an olive branch. I'm here for the first time since my rookie year for voluntary OTAs because I'm trying to be a leader. Let's get this deal done. I don't care how it gets done. I just want Micah Parsons' ass there with the team working out. Now, back to my original thoughts here about Dak Prescott. There's perception and then there's reality, okay? There's perception and then there's reality. And it's so crazy to me when I constantly hear people talk about Dak Prescott's always had so much talent. Dak Prescott's always had, and he's failed. He sucks. And I literally heard Momo say, well, he had Noah Brown. What? Noah Brown? Are we saying that he is like a top 10 wide receiver? Seriously? And here's the thing. The perception is Dak has always had these great players, and he's failed. Now, I want you to understand something. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting to me is, this is how I equate it. If the Cowboys have been winning Super Bowls, you know, with Bill Parcells and Tony Romo, or Tony Romo and Jason Garrett and things, and that we were constantly in the NFC Championship game and things, and then Dak Prescott comes, and then we're not getting out of the first round of the playoffs. I could say, yeah, we used to do these things on a regular, but now that we got Dak, we're not. We're not. So he's got to be the problem. But we weren't doing things before Dak. There's 21 years of time where Dak wasn't here that we weren't getting to the NFC Championship game. So clearly, there's something bigger going on here. I will say, the only time that you really had two legitimately great receivers at the same time was Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, his rookie year. And the Cowboys decided, you know what? We don't want Amari Cooper anymore. But then when we hear people talking about, you know, some of the wide receivers that we've had, let's go down the list of some of the guys that we've had that we've brought in. We've had guys like Allen Hurns. We've had guys like Randall Cobb. We've had guys like Brandon Cooks. We've had guys like Noah Brown. We have guys like Cedric Wilson. The funny thing is when you look at these guys that come in, it's not like they're going on to other places and doing great things. now that they got away from Dak, who sucks. Because when I look at Noah Brown's best season pretty much was with Dak Prescott. 3 TDs, 12.9 yard average, 555 yards. He had 2 TDs the next year, about the same amount of yardage. He had 1 TD last year with Washington. But the perception was with Momo, well, Noah Brown, he was always open. Well, he wasn't open with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have been one of the worst teams in separation. One of the worst teams. And literally, I sit here and I listen to Momo say that Dak Prescott, well, if you can't throw the deep ball, then in the NFL, you ain't going to win. Dak can't throw the deep ball. It's like, what are you talking about? Dak Prescott is top 5 in deep ball production and completion percentage with the lowest amount of separation. And if you literally think that Noah Brown is a great wide receiver, a 7th round draft pick, then you don't know football. Here's the thing. Let's take a look at something here. If Dak was just whack, now explain this one to me. Explain this one to me, okay? Because let's take a look here, okay? Randall Cobb in 2014 was an absolute beast with Aaron Rodgers. 1,287 yards and 12 TDs. That was 2014. The years after that, 829 yards, 6 TDs, 610 yards, 4 TDs, 653 yards, 4 TDs, 383 yards, and 2 TDs. And this was considered one of the big signings. This is one of the big free agent signings that we made, actually, surprisingly. If you look at a guy who's gone downhill in production for 4 years, from 1,287 yards to 383, Green Bay said, it's time to cut our losses. We're moving on. This guy, the dog can't hunt anymore. But here's the thing. He goes with whack-ass Dak, garbage-ass Dak, and then all of a sudden resurrects his career. Now, keep in mind, he had Aaron frickin' Rodgers throwing to his ass those 4 years that he went downhill. He goes with whack Dak. All of a sudden, he more than doubled what he did the year before, 828 yards. His highest yards per completion at 15.1 and 3 TDs. And mind you, we had 3 TDs of his that were called back because of stupid penalties. He gets a big, fat, juicy $25 million contract with the Houston Texans. And they ended up trading away DeAndre Hopkins, and they had Deshaun Watson throwing to him, and they had to rely on him. It's amazing. He halved his total. So how do you explain wide receivers like Randall Cobb? Do we sit here and look and say, we had a great wide receiver right there? Or do we look at that and say, Dak elevated that guy? Cedric Wilson. It's amazing because Cedric Wilson with the Dallas Cowboys in 2021, when we decided to move on from Amari Cooper, had 602 yards. 602 yards in one season with Dak and 6 TDs. He barely made more than that over the last 3 years with Tua throwing to him and Derek Carr. 602 yards, 6 TDs. That was his career year. Of course, with the garbage-ass quarterback. And when we look at this, do we look and say, Cedric Wilson? If you started a team right now and said, we got Cedric Wilson as our number 3 wide receiver, are you going to look and say, man, that's great. Hey, that's great. Man, we in great shape. Another one of our big moves, Brandon Cooks. Because here's the perception and the reality of Brandon Cooks, who's been in the NFL for 10 years. Again, not to beat down on Momo, who just lost his brother. We got Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, 1,000-yard wide receiver. Yeah, in 2021 was the last year of that. 2021. He's not the same dude. He's not the same dude, guys. Last year, he was hurt most of the year. Do you look and say, man, our number 2 wide receiver today, Cedric Wilson and Brandon Cooks, and we good? We good. No, you don't. Amari Cooper was the best one. When you can say, now, and again, we're at the point now where he ain't the same guy. We go back, and this is the problem that we have is we don't know, or we don't, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't look at what a person is now. We think about the things that they used to do. In some people's minds, they're still thinking about, man, we should bring back Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is not the same guy he was 7 years ago. Not even close. Some of y'all would still say, man, we need to go ahead and bring Tony Romo back. Tony Romo can't play no more. And this is where Amari Cooper, people say, oh, we should bring back Amari Cooper. You got to understand, Amari Cooper has been going downhill, just like everybody else, the last 3 years. And here's my point being here with Dak Prescott. Only one time did we have 2 legitimate wide receivers. 1 year. And that year, our offense was number 1. The thing is, in the same time I can go through and I can talk about how great that was, and I look at, I didn't actually get up. So let me look at CD. Because we know that with Dak Prescott last, the year before, he set all of the Cowboys records. Okay? So when you look at, I'm trying to see if I can get the game logs here for last year. Nope, not the game logs. But I can guarantee you that between Dak throwing to him, versus, well, no, it's about even. He still had a pretty decent job, although 21 yards, 47 yards, 39 yards. We weren't making a whole lot of hay. With Dak, 61, 90, 67, 98, 62, 89, and then he had the 146 against San Francisco, albeit most of that in garbage time. 47-21. So that one's about even. But you're actually getting better production when you had those 2 guys that get separation. And this is the case for saying that the Cowboys must, and I mean they must, get more weapons for the offense. You just have to. Be it Matthew Golden, be it getting a veteran, you got to have more talent in there. I don't mean to disrespect Noah Brown or Cedric Wilson and things like that, but if you're seeing them leave the Cowboys or Randall Cobb, and they're only getting like 200, 300, 400 yards, you're not looking at premier wide receiving talent. If you're looking at them dropping off from leaving the Cowboys, then you have to look at it and say they were elevated by being here with the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. If it were the reverse of it, then you say Dak Prescott was holding them back. And clearly, that was not the case. Let's finish this off with my quarterback from the cancer event that was Saturday.
Are you the Slim Reaper? Tell us about the weight loss.
Slim Reaper, whatever you want to call me, but Yeah, real slim. No, I'm just kidding. No, I actually haven't really lost any weight. I'm about the same. Weights just move. Building my legs back up, obviously, from the hamstring. Might be leaner up top, but weight's the same. So appreciate the interest.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all over social media. We're seeing you throwing, and your body looks different.
It looks good right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the work that I've put into it. Unfortunately, I've been through this process of recovering from injuries before that. I embrace it. And I know that a better version of me is on the other side. And so that's just the way that I've approached this whole offseason, this whole rehab process. And in the sense of that, as I said, I've moved weight around more than I've lost weight. But I feel great, getting very, very close to where I want to be.
You talked about the rehab process and the hamstring. Where are you with the hamstring?
Yeah, I'm getting close to where I want to be. I don't want to put a percentage on it. Know we've got team activities coming up. Imagine myself being involved in some sort, if not all. But then again, understanding my age, what I've went through it's about getting to the fall and being my best in the fall. So not rushing anything, but I'm where I want to be.
Weight distribution I need to finish my career out the next 5 years without anything happening, because it's happening every year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it's about weight distribution. I don't know if I can lose weight in my thumb so it doesn't break when I hit it on a helmet. So in that case, it's about just being the best that I can be and getting healthy and making sure I'm healthy before I go into the season, that nothing continues to linger or make something bigger than it is. And at the end of the day, it's about manifesting. I'm a positive thought guy, so sorry I responded that way, but that's thinking negative, and that's some of us and some of y'all got to get that out of our heads. It's about thinking positive and moving forward with faith. And so I'm looking forward to a healthy season and doing everything I can right now to put myself in that position.
Kind of on that note, have you kind of changed maybe the way you're attacking your rehab this time around, or reevaluated it?
No, not necessarily. I mean, you're talking different injuries, whether you're talking the ankle to the thumb to a hammy off the bone, that it's about following the team, following my PT, Luke Miller, and the plan that we put together, and the doctor and Dr. B.A.M, and I'm excited about where I am. If I had to play a game today, I definitely could do that. So it's about moving forward healthy to make sure I can play 17 when the time's 20 and whatever that we get to when the time's right.
Describe your conversations with Shotty, since he's the head coach. How would you describe those conversations?
And we give you the game plan already? I mean, just excitement. Yeah, just excitement. As you said, I mean, I've known Shotty. He's been there. He's been the last couple of years and really 3 years, right? The first year being a consultant, that it's not any monumental conversations that are needed to happen, but definitely his direction and the way that he sees this offense going, the way that he sees this team going. And I think it's clear throughout the team with the guys and the men that he's hired as the coaches, and the way that he's got the whole building on the same page. So just excited for this chapter under him and the way that he's going to lead this team and this unit.
And hoping to play all 17 games, what are your thoughts on hoping to remain as mobile as you've been through your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. Me playing my best, I'm mobile, whether it's actually running past the line of scrimmage or it's just scrambling, making plays happen with my arm. So that's vital for me. That's a big part of this. And yeah, I've been running more. Obviously, you've got to when you're rehabbing a hamstring. So it's about just staying on that trend of just getting better, staying mobile, but doing it while feeling healthy.
Clearly one of probably the leader of the entire team, but you guys lose Jordan Lewis, you lose Lawrence, Zach Martin. Who are some other guys that you look at as like, hey, we need more leadership from those guys? Yeah,
I mean, it's a great opportunity. I could call out some guys that are here, Jalen Tolbert, some guys that have been around, that understand what the way in the direction that we need to go. And so it's a great opportunity for guys. I almost don't want to say one because I want to challenge them. I mean, there's a lot of slates and a lot of positions. Obviously, Micah Parsons, you know what I mean? You got C.D. Lamb. You've got guys that you can name, but there's a lot of the guys that have an opportunity to step up. But super, super excited about what we have, the veterans that we have. I mean, honestly, the one that jumped off when you ask it is Osa, right? Like, guys follow him. He does things the right way, but it's about creating more that you just can't deny their leadership and you can't deny their will to win.
You brought up Micah. Can you talk about any advice to Micah on how to be a leader, different leader than he has been, and as well as how to handle this contract situation?
Yeah, I mean, me and Mike have talked in the locker room. Leave that as locker room talks. but very confident in that guy and what he can do. Who he is and what he wants to do is as important as anything, and that's in being a leader. And the contract, I mean, that's I don't have the full answer for it. Or I think all of mine would have been done a lot earlier than they were. So that's for him. Just stay positive, and understand and make sure that his team knows what he wants and what he believes.
Different guy. Now, first, what does it mean to leave?
Yep.
Lose Cooper and then getting good.
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever put a value on what Cooper Rush has meant to me throughout my career, honestly. The only year he wasn't my backup was the year I got hurt within 5 games. So you're talking about it in my rookie year. But you're talking about a guy that approaches the game the right way, is a real man off the field, is a true leader in just what he does and the way that he walks, that Baltimore's getting a hell of a guy out of that quarterback room and to be a leader for that team. So looking forward to what he can do and bring them. And then for the young guys or for our guys, whether it be Will Greer or Joe Milton, anybody that's played with me or been in that quarterback room knows that all I care about is everybody pushing everybody and getting better. So I've already worked with Will for years, knowing his mindset and the gains, and just talking to JT about how good he's looked this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to add Joe to the room, and I know Will as well. And if there's another one that gets added in this meantime, it's all about elevating our game as the leaders, as the quarterback position, to make sure the rest of the team and the message is clear and concise. And I'm looking forward to make sure those guys understand that.
There you go. That's my quarterback right there. Alrighty, good people. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. We will be doing our live stream on Monday night as I get back into the swing of everything. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And keep the faith. I'm looking forward to the draft, and I'm looking forward to the season. Peace out.